Welcome back to another video of mine, guys. Today we're going to be exposing Yeonmi Park yet again. Now let's take a look at Yeonmi Park's history. Yeonmi Park is a North Korean activist slash social media influencer slash model slash whatever you want to call her. Now, if we take a few seconds to look at her background, there's a few inconsistencies in her story, you know. First, let's look into her background a little bit. She allegedly fled from North Korea to China, and she settled in South Korea before moving to the United States in 2014. She settled in South Korea in 2007. This is all public knowledge. You can check the Wikipedia page that I got this information from. But she supposedly said that she crossed the Gobi Desert in minus 40 degrees heat temperature. So if you guys know anything about science or anything about temperature, minus 40 degrees is ice cold. You guys seen the video in Siberia where they throw the water out of the window and then it turns into air? It freezes. There's no way you can survive in the Gobi Desert in minus 40 degrees without water, with no warm clothing. Like, you would literally die. So that's a claim that's completely false if you look into the actual brass tacks. It's like the boy who cried wolf. If you lie once, then hey, I guess it's no big deal. But it's not just that she's lied one time. If it was that, then that's okay. I wouldn't even have a problem with her. But she's lied about crossing the Gobi Desert. She's lied about other things. You know, she said that she used to eat bugs and grass, but then that's what she said in an interview. But then her own mom said in another interview that it was never that bad for Yeonmi Park. It was never that bad in North Korea for them because her dad was a smuggler. He used to smuggle in food all the time, and she would never go without food. Now, ask yourself a question. Why do you think she's being pushed heavily by the media and the mainstream media and the YouTube algorithm? And Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is one of the biggest podcasters on the planet. And having someone on Joe Rogan's show adds some type of legitimacy to that person. And then she's also on Jordan Peterson's show. She's on all these other shows. And it seems like those outlets are using her to gain traction for their channel. Because Joe Rogan, he has people that are trending, people that are in the know, people that are relevant. And she's relevant because of the clicks. She's relevant because there's enough people that buy into the story. So Joe, he doesn't care about if the story is true or not. He only cares about the money and the clicks and getting more views, which is okay. You know, that's part of the game. But it's just, I don't have an issue with the money and the controversy and the click. I just have an issue with the lies, the sensationalism, the constant manipulation, the constant lies and sensationalism, and painting countries in a bad light, saying that you were arrested by traffickers and then you escaped to Mongolia somehow. And all these are the crazy little things that you keep saying that have already been debunked by other notable North Korean activists. You know, she even said that her dad got arrested and that he no longer had the option to become a doctor, and that her only future was going to be as a farmer. And then there was another article that just got released recently talking about how her college mates acted like they were super oppressed when they were at an Ivy League university. You know, it seems like she's kind of just a little bit hypocritical at times. You know, journalists have lost their careers for a lot less egregious lies, you know? There's just so many lies. Like, we can keep going, you know? She says she witnessed her best friend's mother's execution for watching an American movie, then claims later they were South Korean DVDs and not an American movie. And then right after that, she changed the story again, and she said that they were South Korean DVDs. And then she changed her story again, and then the journalist asked for sure if they were South Korean DVDs. She went back to saying it was James Bond. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. And then she says that her mom, and then her mom says she was interrogated off and on for about a year for taking part in her husband's business, which is what he got into trouble for. But then Yeonmi says her mom was also jailed for 6 months for moving back to her hometown after her father was imprisoned, which doesn't make sense if she was interrogated for a year. Like, how can you be interrogated for a whole year and then 6 months? Like, there's so many inconsistencies that I can literally know and see here that I'm just going through right now. In another interview, she claims she buried her father's dead body by herself, and then in another interview, she claims that he was cremated and had to dispose of his ashes by herself. But according to people in the know, who know her personally, she told them that her dad's family in China helped her cremate him and then climb the mountain together to dispose of his ashes together. So then there's another story. There's like so many different stories. And then she claimed that she was in a detention center in Mongolia and she was stripped naked every day for months. But again, according to people who know her personally, she only spent 45 days there. She wasn't there for months and months and months. She was only there for 45 days. Again, you see what I'm saying? Lie after lie after lie. When does it stop? It's not necessarily anybody in particular that knows her personally and are still in North Korea. So I can't really see this as anyone intentionally trying to destroy her credibility. No one's trying to destroy her credibility in the name of North Korea. We just see through the bullshit. We just see through the bullshit, North Korea sometimes does call out the correct people on real inconsistencies. Because do you guys remember when North Korea had Shin Dong-hyuk's father send him a message on live TV calling him out for lying? That he was in fact lying about part of his story? So although I do agree that North Korea can and does intentionally try to discredit their victims, sometimes they're true. Sometimes they're right. They're right. It's crazy how she had the nerve to make a Patreon, but she's already making hundreds of thousands of dollars. She's basically a walking American propaganda machine. It's easy to wake the compassion in people when the things you tell them about so obviously go about everything against everything considered basic human rights. Now, there's no doubt that people are bound to suffer oppression of all kinds in a communistic regime, but who can really say that capitalism is or has done any better? You get freedom to choose your own poison. That is the difference. At the end of the day, you'll be force-fed that poison whether you like it or not. Crazy. She's lying through and through her teeth, but everybody loves her because she's a pretty girl, she's attractive. Pretty much it.